just a minute ago, keeping y'all rocking. But guess what? We're gonna keep you rocking with sports this next hour. Joining me inside the booth, I have the Buffalo's fan base extraordinaire, super producer Justus the General is in the building. And guess what? It is NFL free agency day one. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, there's been a lot of things going on today. We're going to talk about it. We definitely going to talk about it. There's been some surprises, some things that we thought wasn't going to happened. Some things that we didn't think was going to happened. And some things that we know that's going to happen, it's going to happen. We just got to wait for it. We got to wait for it. So, we got a few clips. I mean, we're gonna discuss and things of that nature. But when I woke up this morning, I had the conference call and all that. So I'm done with the conference call. I get a text from the Bills saying that they have just signed Deontay. Is it Deontay Henry? Harris. Deontay Harris. Now, which one is it?
Hardy. It's Hardy
It's
now.
Hardy. He changed it from Harris.
Formerly Harris.
Yeah, what we
he
trying
wanted,
to
he
figure?
wanted to honor his stepfather who just recently passed away.
Okay, so that's what that was.
So, yeah,
okay,
shout out to
so Hardy Harris.
It's Hardy now.
It's Hardy now. Oh, okay. All right. Jennifer, what's good with you? Okay. Now, I know I always said, like, look, I'm tired of the Smurfs, right? I'm tired of these Smurfs. I'm tired of the Bills getting Smurfs. Deontay Hardy. He's 5'6". But he's like a little Tariq Hill 5'6".
Yeah.
Lightning fans. If you go to his highlight tape, and something that I wanted to ask Brandon Bean in the exit presser, after they got demolished by Cincinnati. Cousin Frank, what's good with you? What happened to yards after catch, the run after catch, rack and yak and all that stuff we was talking about in the summertime? That didn't happen. So I guess they still on that quest by picking up a guy like Deontay Hardy because he is lightning fast. I mean, he can take a 5-yard pass straight to the house, and that's the rack that we've talking about. We thought it would be with McKenzie. We thought it could possibly be with Jamison Crowder, but Jamison Crowder got hurt. He broke his ankle and didn't return to the team. Isaiah McKenzie, I think he just
Deontay's middle name. That boy fast.
Yeah, he's lightning fast. He ran for somewhere to what 4.3s, 4.4s, but on tape he looks faster than his 40 time. You know what I mean? So, man, big question is now, what you got?
He is third in average yards per route, outside the numbers. So on the boundaries, right?
Oh wow.
It's Devontae Adams, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyreek Hill, and him.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's like that. So, like, I would honestly, when I saw the news, this was before the Jordan Poyer news. So, I'm at work, I'm miserable. You know what I mean? Right. So I see the news, I'm like, who is this? Like, I'm mad now. We gave this how much money? You know what I mean? Like, and I go look at the tape. I'm like, shut up. That boy nice.
Yeah, I knew all about it. When they signed him, I knew who he was. But I was like, damn, we got another Smurf. But it's like, okay, this dude is kind of like a Tyreek Hill type of guy.
This is what I feel like he's going to be what we expect Isaiah McKenzie to be.
I don't know. I mean, before we get into that, we get these players, and the big question is, will Ken Dorsey know what the hell to do with him?
Yeah,
that's the biggest damn question. Will Ken Dorsey know how to know what to do with him? That's the biggest fear I have with bringing in a guy that size. Because again, Isaiah McKenzie fast is you all know what too, and it seems like we couldn't get him involved in the offense for some strange reason. You know what I mean? So I'm not sold on Ken Dorsey. Whoever the hell we bring in here, is Ken Dorsey's going to be able to use this guy how he's supposed to be used? That's the biggest question. But I do like the pick. He's an explosive piece. And, now that goes to your question. What in the hell the Bills are going to do with Isaiah McKenzie now that you done brought this guy in for 2 years, $9 million with incentives that can max out at 13 million. So is the writing on the wall for Little Dirty?
I mean, he said on Twitter, he says, what did he say last night? I think he said, "Being hurry up and break the news" or something like that. So he knew something we didn't know, right?
Right.
And then today, there was somebody that was like, "I don't think this is the news," I said, because he was talking about when we signed, and he said this is the news. Of course, I'm probably sure he was being facetious, but I don't know, man. I really do. I mean, look, I love Isaiah McKenzie. His personality is amazing. He's just really inconsistent. And if we were, you know what I mean, like I loved him, Josh's first 3 years
Right.
when he was developing, and you know what I mean. He gave us big plays and it was exciting, right? But now that Josh is who Josh is, and we are a developed team, we're past the development stage. We need to be winning championships at this point, and I
Right.
don't know if Isaiah McKenzie is conducive to winning a championship as a top three receiver or four
No,
receiver.
we don't need to be winning championships. We need to be going to Super Bowls. I don't want to hear nothing about championships. We need to be going to Super Bowls. That's my whole thing now. Is Super Bowl or bust right now with the Bills? I don't want to hear anything about championships. No, we've been to a championship game. We lost in 13 seconds. I want to talk about Super Bowls. We should be talking about going to Super Bowls. You know what I mean? That's just it. Like, ain't no, oh, the window ain't closed or anything like that. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear about, are we all in to get to a Super Bowl? What are we doing to get to a Super Bowl? And that's the biggest question, you know what I mean? And hey, that's what I'm going to be asking all season long. What is the plan to get to a Super Bowl? Not a championship game, not the damn playoffs no more. Because guess what? We've been there, we've done that. We've done that time and time again. For the past 4 years, we've done that. We haven't got to a Super Bowl though. So what is the plan to get to a Super Bowl? I ain't saying win it, just to get to the Super Bowl, and then we take care of business then. But what is the plan to get to the Super Bowl? And I don't want to hear, well, that's the goal every year. No, because that obviously that hasn't been the goal because we have not made it there. So I don't want to hear that's the goal. All right. So
Because it cheapens it.
yeah, it definitely
That's
cheapens the
everybody's goal
questions.
every
That's
year.
everybody's goal to get to the Super Bowl. But what is the real plan? Because you was a damn Super Bowl favorite last year. Didn't happen. You got smacked at home in the first round in the divisional.
Like
So
Vegas was picking us against the field. Vegas was like the Bills are real, and I mean for the first couple of weeks we were real.
yeah, we were real predictable. That's all we was. That's all the Bills was. We was real predictable at the end, and we can't afford to be predictable any longer. So again, just because we didn't make it doesn't mean that's not the plan. I mean, Jennifer, come on, that's the plan every year. But I'm tired of that question. Like, it's put up a shut up time. I'm from Missouri now. You got to show me now. We got the pieces. I'm just like Steph Diggs. Man, I don't know what the hell's going on. We got the pieces. We got the team. I don't know what the hell is going on. We know what's going on. The coaching is what's going on. All right. So if we got everything else, what is going on? It's the coaches. The players play and the coaches coach, right? The players have been playing. Can we honestly say at this point, after a few years, that the coach has really been coaching in the playoffs?
Not a
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear about regular season. We dominate regular season. Yeah, we back to back. We back to back AFC East champs. But when it comes to playoffs, where are we at coaching wise? You see how masterful Andy Reid is. You see how good Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals offense and Amaruno defense is come playoff time. You know what I'm saying? You see Coach Spags, making adjustments and new wrinkles to create things in their defense. You see how Philadelphia was. You see how San Fran was in the playoffs. Everybody looked at different and good. The Bills looked at horrible for you to be a Super Bowl contender team, and that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Everybody progressed while the Bills regressed. They didn't get any better from I say what the Giants game. The Giants game was probably like their like really dominating game, a blowout, if you will. You know what I mean? Where they just blew it off the water. But I mean, the Green Bay still made a valiant effort.
Oh, Green Bay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Green Bay, excuse me. But they made a valiant effort towards the end. Yeah. But that's the only game, the last game that the Bills really showed any type of dominance. Other than that, it was a dogfight for the remainder of the damn season. And when you're a Super Bowl favorite, you should not be losing to the Chicago Bears before halftime. You should not be down to Cleveland Browns where Stephon Diggs got to go to the coach and ask him what the hell is going on. You should be in the dogfight with the Detroit Lions. I don't care how good they was this year. You are Super Bowl favorite. You should not be in dogfights with the Cleveland Browns, the Chicago Bears, nor the Detroit Lions. Sorry, not sorry. All right, you had no business losing to the Jets for crying out loud with Zach Wilson if you're a Super Bowl favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You had no business losing to Minnesota when you were up 17. Yeah, no, but I mean, they really could have been undefeated. That's the most craziest thing about it. Because the 4 losses was just like, how did we lose them games?
Right.
You know? So the crazy part about this team that they could have easily been undefeated. If you take the Cincinnati game away, they easily could have been undefeated.
That's true.
The scary part about it.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do now? Like, what are we going to do now? So I mean, we got Deontay Hardy, explosive guy. I mean, obviously, do he comes to number 3 now? Like he becomes the number 3 with Gabe Diggs and himself. I mean, just like damn, y'all just push the cord to the side, like
I feel like iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? Shakir's a young guy. Earn your play time. If you're good enough, you know what I mean. You'll go in and you'll prove that you're good enough, and you'll get play time.
But what do you do with McKenzie now?
I've been saying it. Cut McKenzie. If you hear this, I love you, bro. But I just feel like the experiment's over.
Do you shop him around? You know what I mean?
Sure. I'm sure they would like that cap space. You know what I mean? If nothing else, and also that I just don't know if I want to see an offensive game plan, and even this might also be the case. I don't think Ken Dorsey can effectively use Isaiah McKenzie. So why have him on roster?
Right, and that's my point. Like he really didn't know how to use McKenzie this year, so there's no reason to have him on the roster. You either try to trade for him, get a 6th, 7th round pick for the guy, or obviously you have to count on to free up that $2.5 million. I mean, I'm business minded Muki right now. I'm not thinking as a Bills fan. I'm business minded Muki right now, and so that's to be continued. In reference to, my guy Little Dirty. I mean, he's a team player though. He's a team player. He took a back seat for Isaiah he took a back seat for Cole Beasley to come up in the sauce and try to help the team, get on a run in the playoffs. But, that didn't come to fruition. But I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, because when you really look at it, they still do need some receivers. I mean, who do they have? They do got Keyshawn Johnson though. Let's not forget that. He's been on the practice squad forever. So I'm looking to see, what type of camp this guy is going to have. What is he going to be doing in OTAs? You know what I mean? That's going to be my thing. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's going to be a draft, and it's obviously we're in free agency now. So, that still can continue on. The Bills still can make a splash in that receiver department because normally guys like Deontay Hardy are really your 4th receiver. They're really not the 3. So maybe Shakur is that guy at 3. Or maybe the Bills still have their eyes on OBJ, you know what I mean? Or maybe DeAndre Hopkins, or some sort of another, maybe a receiver in the draft that they're coveting. You know what I mean? So, this free agency is literally going to tell me a lot of where they're going to be going towards in the draft. So that's why I don't never really put out a mock.
Yeah.
I don't put my second mock out until after free agency.
So you figure out what holes they have.
Yeah, it don't make no sense, just to be putting out mocks, I don't get into that. So I was at the combine.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? What happened now?
The Bengals just got Orlando Brown Jr.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to Chicago. Change the plans.
4 years, $64 million.
4 years, $64 million. Orlando Brown. What a pickup. With a pickup. Where Orlando Brown go to college? Oh, he went to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He went to Oklahoma. So that's a good pickup. They O-line need help, right? Our O-line still need help too, Jim, but I think we'll be all right. But that was a big pickup by Cincinnati, a team that's desperately been trying to protect Joe Burrow, and they went out and got their guy. Now the question is he going to play right or left? For that type of money, I guess he's going to be playing on the left side because he cried for 3 years in Baltimore about being on the right side because right tackles don't get paid as much as left tackles. You know what I mean? So yeah, I know we talking about our line, Jennifer. I know we signed Connor McGovern today. He made it official. You know, and I think the Bills are going to try to go grab a draft pick in later rounds or something. And when it comes to that line, we're not going to draft a lineman in the first. Probably the first 3 rounds, they're not going to take a lineman. I don't think so. Maybe in the fourth, they'll go grab a guy, but not the first 3 picks. I don't see them taking a lineman. Um, so yeah, I mean, yeah,
any scenario where I have Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham Jr., either or, Gabe Davis, now Deontay Hardy, and Khalil Shakir. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy, but we need another splash.
But we do need OBJ or Nuke or somebody.
Yeah, we need another splash. We can't be, keep playing around with our receiving core and saying this is it for, Josh Allen. You know what I mean? Now, there's been talks about Darnell Parnham.
Oh yeah.
Darnell Parnham, and Darnell Parnham was a guy that I had on my radar. I think 2 years ago when he was in the was it either the XFL or the USFL? 6'8" guy. So I like the size. You know what I mean? He's 6'8". He's a big target. He can block, and if they pick him up, then I won't be mad about the Darnell Washington thing. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be mad at all if they pick up Donald Parham. It's Donald Parham, by the way.
But they have shown that they have some type of propensity for a big body tight end.
I already knew that, right?
Even if they don't land Parham,
right?
That means
we know what they're looking for. I've been on top of this. You know what I mean? I've been on top of this since they got rid of OJ Howard. This is the tight end, the damn tight end. You know what I mean? If this is what you're looking for to make your 12 personnel scheme work, and I'm telling you now, in training camp and preseason, that's all the Bills were in. I used to call it the exotic 12 because they had the tight end moving around all over the place. You didn't see that in the regular season because they didn't have O.J. Howard. You know what I mean? So now they're coveting a tight end. Donald Palmer is definitely a solid candidate. I wouldn't be mad if they take Donald Palmer, then okay, I know they're not going to draft Darnell Williams. And I'm cool with that. I will be cool with the Bills not selecting Darnell Washington if they select
it's the same premise. Big body tight end. That's what you ultimately want.
Right. We're a bigger target. He's a little bit more seasoned. He's been in the NFL. So,
end zone, red zone.
Right. Exactly. He still poses a threat for you in the red zone being 6'8". You know what I mean? So I would not be mad at that. All right. So keep on the lookout for that. My guy Ryan Talbot has reported that the Bills have been, has some interest in Darnell Parham. So, hopefully maybe a deal gets done. And if it doesn't get done, then we know the Bills are covering a blocking tight end. And that would only be my guy Darnell Washington, who Georgia Pro Day was today. All right. And, again, he remeasured because they had him listed at 6'6" at the combine. He's officially 6'7". Okay. He ran like a couple of tenths better than his 4.3. You know what I mean? 4.63. Yeah, 4.63 or something like that. I think he ran like a 4.62. But I mean, the guy's just a freak, man. Yeah. The guy is just an absolute freak. So again, if we don't get Donald Parham at pick 27, you better go get this guy. Because the Cincinnati Bengals are breathing heavy for a tight end because Hayden Hurst just went to what? He went to Carolina.
I saw where he went.
He went to Carolina, right? 3 years, $21 million. 3 years, $21 million. And, the thing about that contract is Hayden Hurst, to me, played better than Dawson Knox this year, right?
Yeah.
And he got only $7 million a year testing the market. And this is where I go back to prioritizing, right? If you gave Tremaine Edmonds that 4 years, $52 million extension last year, we would have been still having Maine Savage, and you let Dawson Knox test the market, and right now this will be his value. 3 year deal for 20, maybe about $18 million. So that's you cut his contract in half to what he's getting right now. So you mean to tell me Hayden Hurst probably was the top tight end in free agency this year? Got 3 year deal for $21 million.
Yeah, they took a gamble.
Yeah, they definitely took a gamble and wasted some money there. Not to say that Dawson Knox isn't worth it, but when you're negotiating contracts and figuring out who's a priority and what you can risk.
Yeah, it's chess.
You know, what you could risk. So you risked you risked putting Tremaine Edmonds out there instead of Dawson Knox out there. Like really?
Because if I understand the thought process of, oh, okay, I want Tremaine Edmonds to prove it, you know what I mean, in his final year. I understand that thought process. Where I don't understand is thinking, oh, okay, Dawson Knox has proved it now. Let's give him a second year. Right. That's where it loses me, right? Because that's not a sacrifice I was willing to make at all.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand how we prioritize it right now, because Dawson Knox would have never. His value would have been way lower. His value back then was $10 to $12 million, and he got $12 million per year, 13 a year, 4 year deal, $52 million. Then opposed to what he would have got on this market this year with the performance he put together this year. Now, you can't predict tragedy and death and stuff like that. But again, you took the risk on putting Tremaine Edmonds out there rather than you took the risk by putting your first round pick out there rather than your third round pick out there. And that's the problem that I have with, what are we prioritizing? Who we value more? Obviously. So you value the tight end rather than your defensive play caller? That's the issue that I have. You know what I mean, with Buffalo. You know what? I may ask Brandon Bean that question. Like, I mean, did y'all value Dawson Knox more than y'all value Tremaine Edmonds? To lose him, it shows that y'all value Dawson Knox more than y'all value, Tremaine Edmonds. And I don't want to, really get into that, but I have to ask you that.
I mean, you gotta see where his head's at.
I mean, what was that decision based on?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what was that decision based on right there? Because Dawson Knox, clearly his market value this year, if he just would have rolled his contract out, it would never been $12 million. Especially if Hayden Hurst is the top tight end in free agency and he only got $7 million a year. So, that's money we could have saved and got other players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's money we could have got and got other players. But listen, phone lines are open. Don't be afraid to call now and say what's on your mind about what's going on with your favorite Buffalo Bills team, your favorite player. You can hit me up right now, 716-837-1112. You know how to count? All right, that's 716-837-1112. The last four, 1112, like Sesame Street. All right. Keep it locked. Keep it legendary. We'll be right back. You're tuned in 2D. Wufo, 1080 AM. Power 96.5. We'll be right back for more late night sports.
About to get the Poyer next.
Yeah, we're gonna get in the Poyer. Ronnie, what's up? Lawrence Coach, what's good with you? I ain't heard from you in a while. I gotta hit your line. Yeah, Jennifer, we live. EJ, what's good, my guy?
Tim Allen avoided a life sentence and he got out by ratting.
Yeah, I'm live on the radio too right now. Yeah, we live. Phone line, hit me up. Let me see if I can.
Cancer is not as simple as we typically think of it in a classification.
Big man, what's good? Y'all hold tight, right back.
Pathologist at Robin Park Comprehensive Cancer Center. A lot of people think that they just have lung cancer or they just have breast cancer. They may have a specific subtype takes a very complex process to determine if you have that. You have to go to very sophisticated, high-level cancer centers to keep up with all the advanced diagnostic changes that occur that can impact your treatment. And that is what we are specialists at Roswell Park. And our capabilities of doing molecular classification of cancers is really what sets us apart from going somewhere else that's not an NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center. You could be at the forefront of a treatment that can change your whole outlook of life. Spend one day at Roswell Park and regain your hope.
Free agency is crazy, so you know I'm on my line. Coach, what's going on, Big Kev? Again, that phone line 716-837-1112. Again, 716-837.
Hey, Uncle, make some Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, but original is you know you're gonna get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
All right, so like when we get into it, we're gonna talk about Jordan Poyer coming back. We're gonna talk about Aaron Rodgers. All right, and we're gonna talk about Zeke. You know what I mean? We still looking for a running back.
Keeping you informed on local area news, events, education, entertainment, sports, health, faith, family, and more. Remember, leaders are leaders. Be a leader. Pick up your challenger today. Call us at 881-1051. That's 881-1051. Or visit us online at thechallengernews.com.
Just when it felt like Jordan Poyer was out, he comes back in. Sources say Jordan Poyer, one of the top safeties on the free agent market, and someone who has been a linchpin on that Bills defense for the past several years, is expected to sign back in Buffalo. This is not done, but it is expected to be finalized. The choice has been made, and for Jordan Poyer, he explored the market. He took a look at several opportunities, but the pull of being back in Buffalo, the pull of Bills Mafia, all they have done and all that he wants to do and this team still needs to do, it all pulls deep on his heartstrings. Jordan Poyer now headed back to the Buffalo Bills, a free agent I think many thought they would lose. They end up keeping.
That's what I'm talking about. You heard it. My man, All-Pro Poe, ain't going nowhere. All right? He's finishing what he started. All right? In the words of what's that? Wolf on Wall Street. I'm not going effing anywhere. I'm not leaving. You know? I'm sticking around, and you know, I gotta love that because I'm telling you, me and Jordan Poyer been texting each other back and forth the past couple of days. You know, he had me on eggshells too, because I wholeheartedly thought it was over. I thought like, you know what, whatever it is, he's gonna take whatever Miami's throwing out at him, and he's out of here. You know what I mean? But this is how much he loves Buffalo. This is how much he knows that this is his team. The captain can't jump ship. All right? The captain goes down with the ship. All right? And he made it work. We don't know how much money it is. We're gonna find out eventually. But I don't care about that. Only thing I care about is All-Pro Poe remains in Buffalo. So that is definitely leave me relieved because we would have lost Poyer and Edmonds and Leslie Darren Frazier. I don't know what the hell we could be talking about in this defense. But, what are your thoughts on, Port and just say, I'm not going effing nowhere.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, I am ecstatic to have Jordan Poyer back. Like, people think I hate Jordan Poyer because I said that I would rather have Tremaine Edmonds. Like, bro, Tremaine Edmonds is 24 years old. Yes, I'm gonna keep bringing up his age. Right? Like, dude, so of course, Tremaine Edmonds has a long-term effect. It would have been more, positive for the Bills. But to have our, captain, the guy who sets the backside. Him and Micah Hyde, having them back for another year or two, obviously that's huge. And if I'm being quite honest, having Jordan Poyer back, knowing that it's going to be him and Hyde, to make sure that everything on the backside is good, that makes me more comfortable with trading Ed Oliver or Tre'Davious White potentially. I would rather keep Tre'Davious White, But trading that Oliver, I'm all for it. I feel like we need some type of restructuring for our defensive game plan. We can't just be like, all right, you four rush and we'll just cover as long as we can, even though the quarterback will have all day because you can't rush. So we need to figure something else out. And obviously, it's going to be harder not having Tremaine Edmonds. So if you can take away or Ed Oliver, who of course is a good player, but he is ineffective in this particular scheme. Um, so if you can kind of get some assets in return for him and also clear his cap space, I feel like you can utilize that and put it other places on the defense to help them out, or even help out the offense a little bit, so that to take pressure off the defense. So I'm happy with Jordan Poyer. It honestly solidifies a lot of other things, knowing that the safeties are good because the Bills were bottom five in the league in allowing deep balls or allowing, a long touchdowns of things of that nature. I'm pretty sure they were the best in the league at it, actually. And Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde are not only a big reason, they're the reason for it.
Right.
So having them there makes me feel a whole lot, better about the whole situation. And it makes me realize that, like, we got the backside covered. The next two levels, linebackers and defensive line need some type of they need to be restructured. Something needs to happen there.
Something needs to happen. We need a blockbuster.
Yeah.
That's what we need. And I know everybody right now on social media is going nuts about, you mentioning Tre'Davious White, on the trading block. We need a blockbuster. So let's just say hypothetically.
Like they're mad at me saying
they're not mad at you. They just like it's new news to them, right? But hypothetically, we're talking the business side of this, okay? And look, Tre'Davious is my man, 50 grand all day long. And with Poyer coming back, I know that the Bills are not going to really entertain trading Tre'Davious. Right. But see this hat? This is my business hat. All right, don't laugh. This is my business hat. I take care of a lot of business in this hat. So if I need a blockbuster, and I'm looking, I'm like, damn, I need a blockbuster. I got my board right here. I got three names up there. Who could be a blockbuster? Ed Oliver is definitely one. Gabe Davis is two.
To trade him?
And Tre'Davious would be three. So those would be my three guys as far as a blockbuster. Who would I choose? Now, Ed Oliver, will be the prime suspect because he's getting paid $10 million. Right now, when you look at the Bills roster, Ed Oliver is the highest paid guy on that roster right now at $10.7 million. Ed Oliver is the highest paid guy. When you look at base salary for this season coming up, Ed Oliver is the highest guy on the roster. Next year, when the season's over, he's gonna his market is gonna be 4 years, 50 million, easy. Now, do the Bills gonna have enough money to pay that? Another $13-14 million for a D tackle? God forbids Ed Oliver have a career year next year. He's gonna want Deron Payne money, and so that 4 year, 50 million is gonna look like 4 years, 75 million with 50 guaranteed, and the Bills are not gonna be able to accommodate that, right? So you get rid of him now instead of getting nothing for him. We're gonna let him walk like the same way we let Tremaine Edmonds walk. So that's why I would say Ed Oliver be, number one on that board.
And you could change the game plan there at the defensive tackle position. Like, I like Ed. He's a good player. He's just too small, especially for the type of defense we play where we're just rushing forward. He's too small. So, yeah, like this is the opportunity to kind of get away from that, to get assets back, and to prevent yourself from losing another asset for nothing.
Right. And, number two on that board, obviously, it probably would be Gabe Davis just because his contract is up too. And, the Bills are looking, they're looking to extend, Gabe Davis, and he's going to warrant anywhere between 13 and 14 million on an extension right now. You know what I mean? So the Bills are in a situation because both of those two guys' contracts are up this year. You can't pay both. You know what I mean? I mean, you can throw Espinosa in there too because his contract is up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just throw that in there just for added value. Not saying that, just Espinez alone is a blockbuster, but just throw him in there too, right? And, 3 would be Tre'Davious White because he has a little bit more
Value.
he has a little bit more value. I mean, coming in, being one of the top corners in the game right now. He's only just sixth season. It's only his sixth season. In as cornerback. Yeah, he is dealing. Yeah, he's dealing with coming off of injury, but I mean, this is Tre'Davious White we still talking about. But he has no more guaranteed money left on the contract. He'd be probably more appealing in the trade. And then furthermore, what are you gonna do with Christian Benford and Kyer Elam now that Jordan Poyer is back? So we're gonna juggle. We're gonna be juggling cornerbacks again with Elam and Benford and every week. And then what if they bring back Dane Jackson? So they bring Dane Jackson in. So that's you juggling 3 cornerbacks at the number 2 cornerback position. So that's why I would say it's a possibility of moving on from Trey White. I'm just business wise, all right? Business wise. I'm not saying Trey Davis, not at all, not by
Plus,
at all.
At this very moment in time, I can't tell you without a shadow of a doubt that like Tre'Davious White is head and shoulders above Kyrie Elam. At this present moment in time, while he's still injured. So that's what I'm saying. So if he is not head and shoulders better than your guy who's going into his second year, you're expecting Tre'Davious probably will need at least this another year to fully recover, right?
Right.
So by that time, you would think Kyrie Elam going into his third year would have picked it up enough to be able to be your number 1 guy.
Or you trade Kyrie Elam. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen with this cornerback group right now. There's no way that Kyrie Elam and Benford is gonna be sitting the bench this season, right?
Yeah, no, don't trade Kyrie.
Something's gonna have to give. You have to give somebody. You know what I mean? Good. He's definitely good. He's damn good. He's 6'2". You know what I'm saying?
He's finally got a fast quarterback.
Right. He's 6'2", runs 4 threes. And he's a monster. He's only going to get better.
Right.
So that's why I say, business wise, I'll say it's a 5% probability that happens with Tre'Davious White. But you still got to throw that out there just to see. You know what I mean?
He reminds me of a prime AJ Bouye a little bit. Like, I mean, if Tre'Davious White is healthy, it almost looks like that Saxonville secondary with Jalen Ramsey and AJ Bouye and all them boys.
Right. And that's all I'm saying. Those 3 will be probably top on my list if a trade would be made, but definitely Ed Oliver because I don't see the Bills paying Ed Oliver, top money. I don't see the Bills paying. They got it again. It's another situation on prioritizing, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to who's the priority? Is Gabe Davis the priority or Ed Oliver? Because both of their contracts are up. So somebody's going to get the extension and somebody's going to, let them test the market. So again, we extend Gabe and then we just going to let Ed Oliver walk out the door drafting him 9th overall, right?
Yeah, not the number 9 pick, though.
Not the number 9 pick. So you get something for him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get something
at this point, I think it's a bad move to keep Ed Oliver. Yeah. At this point, like it makes too much sense to move on from him. I love Ed Oliver. I've been championing Ed Oliver since he was drafted. Right? People say he was trash. He should have been traded last year and all this other stuff. I'm like, nah, bro. Look at the tape. Like he's pushing people around. He's just too small.
Ed Oliver is more comfortable in 3-4. He's a defensive end in a 3-4 set. And if the Bills was a little bit more foxy in their scheme, a little bit more exotic,
more creative.
Yeah, more creative. They could make it work, but they're not making it work. And it, again, it's like, well, what are we drafting? Are we drafting guys to develop them in your scheme, or are we drafting scheme fits?
And for all these people who they want to play multiple positions, why would you not have Ed Oliver lined up on the edge? Like,
right? Just try it.
Try it.
Damn, try it. Right? I don't know. You know what I mean? They get paid the big bucks, man. That's why we sit behind these microphones and do what we do. But in other news in the division, your boy Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah.
Your boy Aaron Rodgers just decided that he just want to go to the Jets. I guess he want to follow behind Brett Favre's footsteps so damn bad. You know what I mean? So he's announcing that he's going to the Jets, and it's going to happen. So we're going to be facing Aaron Rodgers, twice a year now. Josh Allen's buddy. So what are we going to do for that? Because, Jets are loading up.
Yeah.
All right? The Jets are loading up. And we took an L to the damn Jets with Zach White being the quarterback. Zach Wilson, excuse me. So, what do we do with that? So we got the clip on what certain people think and what Aaron Rodgers is saying. And this is what's going on with A-Rod right now.
Wanted an answer. He went into the darkness not knowing if he was going to retire, not knowing if he was going to be back in Green Bay, kind of thinking that maybe they wanted to move on, but maybe not knowing for sure. And I know they sought some clarity beforehand, didn't get it. He then went into the darkness. And I think at that point, he's probably right. The team ended up being like, you know what, maybe this is not happening because he doesn't know. So it does feel like his timeline matches because when he went into the darkness, the team sort of started planning like, all right, what is next? They have a quarterback they like in Jordan Love. They have, as he said, a good young roster. Clearly wanted to move on with that, avoid the $60 million cash payment that's going to come to Aaron Rodgers this year. The other thing is, we learned that this is basically exactly where we thought, which is that Rodgers wants to play for the Jets. The deal is not done. The two sides are still discussing compensation, and until they agree on compensation, they are simply not there. But hearing the feelings, why he wants to move on, and how the organization, still means a lot to him, but how he sort of understands that they are saying goodbye and wishes it was earlier. Like, it was all kind of what we thought, but certainly fascinating to listen to.
And this is what I got to say about Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you're the first ballot Hall of Famer. You're definitely a dog. But why would you waste these people's time like that? Why would you waste your own time like that? Now you want to leave? You should have left last year when your contract was up. Why you didn't leave when your contract was up? You hogged all the money. You hogged all the money and you left your boy Devontae Adams hanging to the point where he's like, y'all get me out of here. Trade me right now. And they end up trading him to Las Vegas. And then all of a sudden now you look at him being gone and you don't want to be around to groom the young receivers and stuff that you got. You got $50 million and now you want to leave. Like, Aaron Rodgers is definitely the biggest puppet master of all time. If he can dangle Green Bay Packers and he can, right now he's telling the Jets what to do and he ain't even officially signed with them yet. Oh, yeah, this is my wish list. He got a wish list and everything for the Jets to go. He got OBJ on the list and half his little pack of weapons. But Allen Lazard is already signed to a 4-year, $44 million deal in New York. Yeah, so, Randall Cobb signed too?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I
know they was looking to do
that's
it.
Gonna cause some damn friction. You can't take all your guys with you when you got Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson there, who was the offensive rookie of the year. So you gotta come on. That's what I'm saying. You're doing too much right now, Aaron Rodgers. Concentrate on yourself, and you're already creating bad chemistry and bad vibes. You know what I mean? And you ain't even set foot in the Jet locker room already. You know what I mean? That's what I don't like. And Jets is, man, they listening. They are ears. They are ears like that girl that got a crush on you. They just whatever you say, whatever. I'm like, damn, dude got that much power. He got that much juice. But hey, Aaron Rodgers, you bring your butt to the AFC. We gonna see what that's all about twice a year. And that's going to up the ante because Josh Allen is not going to want to lose no games to you. Yep. It's going to be super, super personal now with the Jets. Mm-hmm. And it's already personal with the Jets any damn way. So,
we just saw what Aaron Rodgers and Lazard and Randall Cobb was doing in Green Bay last year.
Right. Terrible. He was throwing boogers out there. Detroit was just picking them in the last game of the season.
So, granted, the Jets do have a better roster. The Jets are actually, becoming a competent franchise. As much as I hate to say it, they're actually making some really good moves. Yes, that worries me a little bit. But then you go and you bring in, you're probably going to have to trade away a ton of assets to bring in a 36, 37-year-old quarterback. Who, I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. You go ahead and risk your future for this quarterback who's not going to win your Super Bowl. Probably won't win the division for real. Because at this point, I still say Josh Allen gives us the edge, and I still think we have a better roster than the Jets.
Yeah.
but I'm cool with it. It's competition.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, but it still forces the Bills to do something. We can't just stay the same.
And that's another reason
You know
I'm cool
what I
with
mean?
it, because now they ain't gonna sit on the rest on their laurels. You know what I mean? Actually go out and try to do something to win. We should have been preparing for the Chiefs and the Bengals now. But if it takes for Miami and the Jets to go start doing stuff for us to finally get some cojones, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, we got to do something. We can't just think we're gonna pop out. I mean, we already lost Jermaine Edmonds, so I mean, we can't just be like, all right, we good enough to win it, and obviously we not. I mean, we're only as good as our last game, and we got our asses kicked. Excuse me, live on the air. That's what happened. That's the reality of it. You know what I mean? And we got to get more star power here. That's just about right. If all the other teams in the division is loading up, we should do the damn same. Okay? How can Miami say, oh, they got Jalen Ramsey, they're a Super Bowl contender? And now when the Jets get it, they're going to be, oh, they're the favorites to win the AFC East. There's so many waves. Like, they riding all these damn waves. You know what I mean? So what's going to happen if, once we get our OBJ or we make a splash? Oh, the Bills is back in the division race. So they're the front runner now. Like, come on, man. You still got to play the game. You still got to play the game. So, with that being said, there's been a lot of people being cut today. Running backs, defensive ends, Jadeveon Clowney got the boot today. Ezekiel Elliott got the boot today.
Sure did.
Devin Singletary has yet to find a home. So, he may be on the line with Buffalo right now, like, you know what, let me just run this thing back for a year. But I'd rather have Ezekiel Elliott. We need to get online. We need to get online with Zeke and be like, listen, Zeke, we played Dallas this year. You can get you some get back with them. Come on, get on this Super Bowl run with us. We need a power back such as yourself to get those higher yards for us and score inside the red zone. Bills don't have a problem getting inside 20. They just kick too many damn field goals for me or throw interceptions when they get inside of there. But bringing in a guy like Zeke definitely changed that dynamic. So please, please, please. I love you, Devin Singletary. But I'm calling Zeke right now and be like, yo, you want to be a Buffalo Bill? We'll hold out for you. Because I'm not sure if it's official yet or what. He may be a post-June 1 cut, but...
Yeah, he is. They designated as M1, but they already cut him.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, he need to go on. Come on to Buffalo. Get your mind right. Get on this run. You know what I mean? And work on your next bag right now. But,
And we criticize McDermott for a lot. But if there's one thing McDermott is going to do is he's going to get his guys to work hard. And in that sense, you could possibly see like a resurgence out of Zeke in this offense.
You maybe can, but we got to clip on some information about Zeke being released, and this is what's going on with Zeke.
Over the last several weeks, Ezekiel Elliott, who has been their franchise running back, one of the faces of their franchise, may have in fact played his last down with the Dallas Cowboys. My understanding is a decision which is coming at some point soon. Jerry Jones expected to meet with Ezekiel Elliott and come to some sort of decision. But sources tell me the likelihood is the Cowboys move on from Zeke Elliott, simply cut him rather than offer him a pay cut, just out of respect for what he's done to the team and really the fact that he has been one of the best players in football and certainly one of the best players on their team for the last several years, likely to be designated a June 1 release for cap reasons. Again, it is possible that even likely that Zeke Elliott has played his last down in Dallas.
We all know how he played his last down in Dallas, right? Embarrassing. He played center his last down in Dallas.
Oh, that's right.
All right, come on. You know what I mean? Ron, what's going on with you, big dog? I got to come to camp on one of these Saturdays. You know what I mean? Definitely got to do that. But, yeah, so, I mean, yeah, we need to go get Zeke. That's star power. I mean, I love Devin Singletary, but, Zeke, right now he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder.
Right.
I like to bring in guys like that. That's going to play with a chip on his shoulder. Oh, Dallas, you don't want me? All right, watch this. I'm going to go and win a Super Bowl with the Bills. You know what I mean? How about that? You know what I mean? So I like that. You know what I mean? So Zeke, you already got your bag. You know what I mean? Come and play for us short real quick up in Buffalo. Again, you'll get a chance to play your former team. Dallas is on the schedule this year. You know what I mean? So you'll get you some quick get back on a Super Bowl run. You know what I mean? They need to let me holler at Zeke. I go ahead and get that job done. You know what I mean? I go get the job done. Let me holler at Zeke. What are your thoughts on, that possibility? I mean, Devin Singletary is still out there. Again, he's still familiar with your offense. He's been around, I mean, since day one with Josh Allen. Zeke or Singletary?
Well, you look at the last superstar who we had coming here that had a chip on his shoulder and how that worked out, right? Obviously, Stephon Diggs out here still doing his thing. Zeke or Singletary? See, of course, Zeke is the better back, I would say. But here's the thing. I would love Zeke. That's all good and dandy. That would be awesome. But I would be super comfortable. In fact, I would be ecstatic if Devin Singletary were to come back.
Mm-hmm.
My only thing is they have to use him properly. Like, and in that sense, it almost make me hope that he doesn't come back so that somebody else will use him properly and they'll be like, oh wow, this guy's really good. I just really want to see him thrive,
right,
and be put in an actual position to succeed. And I don't feel like the Bills have done that any of his 4 years here. And so would I like to see him come back? Yes. I would also like to see a more comprehensive and not only comprehensive, but also more creative run scheme. Just some type of offensive game plan all around. I feel like that would make everybody better. Because right now it looks like he's just calling random plays and guys are out there. There's no
it's sporadic.
That's
sporadic. All it is. It's sporadic damn play calling by Ken Dorsey.
Yeah,
I've been calling offense all my life, and what I'm seeing out of Ken Dorsey is bad. It's probably the worst that I've ever seen with a great team.
Yeah.
Just imagine if he was seasoned to something. The Bills would have won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
But your inexperience at OC hurt the team this year. You know what I mean? Nobody gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. But and then another thing, Bills fans, stop talking about like we really need the O-line help all like that. Do y'all watch the game? You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, here's this little stat. The Bills is probably the only team in the NFL that have two running backs that average over 5 yards a damn carry.
Yep.
So what are we talking about that we need to get rid of the O-line?
They're not bad.
They're not bad. You have two running backs that average over 5 yards a carry.
And a quarterback that do too.
Right, and a quarterback that do. Right. So that's telling you to run the damn football. Why are we passing all the damn time? We have run blockers, but y'all making run blockers pass block.
Yeah.
That's not, you're not using them right. You know what I mean? So with that little tidbit, I'm gonna let y'all go and think about that a little bit. So with that being said, I'd like to appreciate everybody from tuning in from Facebook to Twitter to Instagram, live on air. On behalf of DJ Ross Muada, my guy Justin, the fan base, you can check us out on Twitter all day long. Check us out on our podcast. And right, F the Jets. That's what I'm talking about, folks. F the Jets. Stay safe, choose love, not hate, and wash them damn hands, man. Holla at your boy.
He got Shaq out there crossing up and shooting threes. What the ball, man? What's wrong with these boys?
I don't believe it. I don't understand it.
Hey, you been spitting, Joey. Shout out to you in the chat. Shout out to everybody out there. Good luck tuning in. Mondays, Wednesdays, Sundays.